This is idiotic.
Let's hear you cry.
Completely idiotic.
I'm alright. I'm alright.
My team just doesn't deal damage and that's it. You can't deal damage with moves. All of this is me.
Know that
The shadows. Are we in trouble yet?
I'm prepared. Into the fray.
Let's have some fun. You've crossed the wrong mongrel.
Garbage. I have one idea. I got a potion of rage. I don't know what else to do. This is like for pure physical. And I got AoE potion of rage. Not a single spell will work, not a single rod will work, no freaking empowering spells, nothing. I got everything, nothing will work. Okay. Absolutely not. Now let me see where is it. Potion of Rage.
Now that your soul, yes, know that
The shadows. Battles await. None shall escape.
Stupid Scylla. Stupid goddamn Scylla.
I will resist.
You've crossed the wrong mongrel.
God damn the stupid arena.
No glory without risk.
Didn't know I can get one shotted, not with fucking 60 on all saves. Hoću kad završim. Ne znam, pokušavam da završim.
You're so yes. No, they're
Shadows.
Out of my
they
sight.
will break against our resolve.
know that. Yeah.
Shadows. All this waiting bores me.
We will win this
Battles
one.
away.
I will help where I can.
Doubt his thought.
I will resist.
I'm always open to ideas.
Missed me already. You've crossed the wrong
Do not
mongrel.
fear. Do not waver.
You won't survive me. Endure this.
This is so fucking broken. Completely broken.
Mind over muscle.
Please help me. Prepare yourself. I fear I've been wounded.
This was unexpected.
You already died. You just woke up and you died.
This is not my time yet.
I've seen away. I literally seen away.
This condition is irrational. I dedicate my body to science.
Useless. Useless. Arushali Lan, completely useless.
Just sit here. Don't worry about me.
That's best I can do. Half of her HP. The Viran just dropped. Yeah, he just dropped. I see no way for this. I see no fucking way for this. You know how long I've been trying now. This is fortitude here. I'll try everything with Hev, but nothing works. Nothing works.
Now that your soul, yes, know that.
Out of my sight!
Defend my dream.
Die!
I will resist.
Oh, Polar.
You've crossed the wrong mongrel.
Necromancy works. Bone shake. This is the only fucking thing that works. Necromancy. Only necromancy. Fuck, like she knows what I wanna do. It's like she knows what I wanna do. She fucking knows what I wanna do.
Let's hear you cry.
She just knows though she targets her, what the fuck? She knows, bitch. She knows what I'm trying to do, god damn it. She just knows and that's it. The best so far. This is the best so far. Definitely the best so far. Straight cap. But she knows what I wanna do.
This will leave a bruise.
Assist me once.
I don't care about brown fur, I already said 1,000,000 times. I don't wanna play builds that are gonna be changed and nerfed. Shit, I can't speed up. It's bugged.
Now that your souls are yes, know they're
Strike from the shadows. None shall
I will
escape!
resist! Prepare yourself!
You've crossed the wrong month.
Oh, you need to roll high, correct? You really need to roll high. Only Diran can deal damage here. Bugged out shit.
bruise.
She's just unbelievable. Unbelievable.
Assist me at once.
2 minutes pause. 2 minutes pause, I need to chill a bit. Man, after 400 hours, I'm really tired from this. I don't know what's worse. The previous encounter with those demons invading and double queen, or this shit. I really don't know what's worse.
Now that your souls are separated, you're so addicted. Yes, know that.
Strike from the shadows. Move out.
I will resist. I will defend my dream.
You've crossed the wrong mongrel.
Bitch.
Out of my sight.
Spam with that shit.
Prepare yourself. Desna, guide my hand.
Real, god. She's not real.
You won't survive me.
Just keep spamming me with those rocks and that's it, do you? How can I go down with so much fortitude on? Holy shit. She healed for 1000 HP now. Now she just healed for 1000 when I brought it to her. Since when can you do that? That's new. She's got the entire repertoire of spells. Okay. I did at least 3,000 damage. Unbelievable.
Now that your soul... Yes, know that...
I will defend my dream.
Mind over muscle.
I will resist. Disappear. Please help me.
The Inheritor, guide my blade!
You've crossed the wrong mongrel. This is not my time.
That's Kirk how she's healing. I don't know how she's healing. She's fucking healing. She heals over time. Then she has strong heals out of 1,000. That's Kirk.
This was unexpected.
Let her come to us. Let the bitch come to us. Oof. Why is it so hard? Because I refuse the help from everyone. From Yomedea, from Nocticula. And it's so fucking hard right now, it's just disgusting.
So it know that
The shadows.
Doubt is the heart's greatest challenge.
I'm always open to ideas.
Will prove my worth.
None shall escape!
This condition is irrational.
You've crossed the wrong mongrel.
Man, what the fuck happens if you refuse help from Nocticula and Yomedea? She's so fucking insane. I guess she's like at least 2 times easier if you just accept help. What I did in those conversations, I guess it's strictly for mercs. I guess it's strictly for mercs. There is no other explanation at all.
You won't survive
Look at those heels. Holy shit, she ain't normal. Heal for 2000 again, you piece of shit. Heal again. I wouldn't be surprised. Man, she brought me down again.
I will resist.
Don't tell me there's a
I
second.
never thought that I would be responsible for the creation of my most powerful enemy.
I can see you, Suture. Show yourself. Suture.
I've been waiting for you to get distracted so I can stab you in the back.
I uncovered your plan. The spells in this chamber, they're designed to kill you if something goes wrong. You've been preparing for this outcome from the start, am I right?
How very perceptive. But you didn't think I would make it easy, did you? I won't let you win. You need me alive. You want to use me to close the wound, but I can destroy myself before you have a chance.
Arilu, this is madness, an act of evil, and it's absolutely pointless. You won't accomplish anything. Is this really how you wish to go? Don't do this.
You're right. I won't gain anything from this. So what now?
Time passed 5 minutes.
You
Someone
are
just
stronger
died.
than I could have anticipated. As your creator, I should be proud to be defeated by the one I have imbued with power. Is there any higher praise? But I'm tired. You won't hear me pleading. Let us finish this experiment here and now.
The defeated shadow rises and stands still at the very edge of the whirlwind. Its gaze is focused on the violet flames of the rift. The shadow says nothing, but you can sense the direction of its thoughts. You take one last step into the yawning chasm. Together, for what has been made whole for so long must come apart at last, and only the wound fire can finally free you from each other. Requires a legend mythic part. You're right, I'm stronger than you could have anticipated. I didn't need the power you gave me to run, and I won't need the soul you corrupted to close the wound. The shadow turns to look at you, without menace or fear, simply waiting.
Indeed. You need neither power nor soul. That's right, because you have my soul to sacrifice. Isn't that what you mean?
No, I won't even require your life. To close the wound, one needs to split the soul of Key in two, correct? That's almost exactly what I did, and I'm still alive.
To sever your connection completely. Now I understand. But it will kill him.
Spare Arilu or kill Arilu. I don't need your life, Arilu. Do what you will with it. I will close the wound myself. All it takes is a step beyond the edge.
is that supposed to be merciful? Why would I want this life? Why, when everything I've lived for will be gone?
I'm walking away and leaving everything as it is. Requires a legend mythic path. Step into the wound with a shadow, just a step beyond the edge. Jesus Christ. In the strange space that you found yourself in, the shadow takes the form of a human teenage boy. I'm tired, will you let me go? Part with the shadow. Kill the shadow once and for all. Do you know where we are? We must be inside the wound. Or maybe inside ourselves or both. I don't know. What happens now? You wanna be free of me and I wanna go. Our bond is almost gone now. There's one last thread left. Once it breaks, we won't be connected anymore. And the world wound will cease to exist. After all, Golarion and the Abyss are stitched together by the same thread that linked your soul and me. Where do you wanna go? I don't know, almost no one before. Now I'm someone again. I'm not a living soul. Where will I go? Even I don't know. Part with the shadow. I hope you're headed for the River of Souls and Pharasma's judgment. I promise to remember you, but that is oblivion, so I'll forget everything soon. I'll become planar essence, or maybe I'll be reborn as some other worldly creature. But I won't remember. Either way, my time is up. I'm going, I'm fading, and you're now free. I can't believe it's over. I can't believe it's over. If it's over, knowing this game. Life and death, destiny and great deeds, answers to mysteries, the search for one true path. The mind can comprehend all of this, and then such concepts can be written down as a sequence of formulas, a series of lines, a chain of thought. Still, a moment always comes when it is time to wrap up, to reach a conclusion, to put a period at the end of the last sentence. The impossible rift, the bleeding wound that had tormented all of Golarion for 100 years, was finally healed. In a strange space beyond the horizon of the world, the commander parted with his shadow at last. Who else would have so rashly renounced his power for the sake of the faint idea of being himself? But the commander made his choice and stuck to this path, with a doggedness even I cannot help but respect, no matter how much grief and anger that decision brought. The Fifth Crusade may not have lasted long, but in that short time, Dresden became the commander's city, his bulwark, his citadel. Unsurprisingly, he remained the ruler of the city and the surrounding lands after the spectacular victory at Threshold. As the leader of the Crusaders, the commander won their loyalty and obedience, even in the Crusade's darkest hours. The commander found ways to restore the army's supply lines. His military acumen was beyond question. Under his leadership, the divided, poorly trained Crusader forces were reforged into an invincible army. Due to the success of the commander's diplomatic strategy, by the end of the war, Mendev's true political center was Dresden, not Nerozia. After gaining the support of foreign rulers and finding allies in the capital, Dresden became the shining example of new Mendel, one that was nurtured by the commander's ideas. The significance and accomplishments of the Crusade were so great that even a century after the end of war, Dresden retained its prominence on the map of Avistan. The commander's diplomatic, military and administrative talent turned the fortress into a key political player. Shortly after the war, Queen Galfrey abdicated the throne of Mendev and departed Nerosian to spend the rest of her long life with her beloved, the one who helped her see that there was more to life than beauty. Galfrey took up residence in Dresden, but for long afterward envoys from Nerosian strove to persuade her to return. Their entreaties were always met with a polite but firm refusal. Quite a number of Mendavians wanted to see the commander of the Fifth Crusade inherit the throne. The war stones from the chain that once guarded the borders of Mendev were carefully disassembled, one by one. The angels that had been trapped inside returned to heaven to heal their wounded spirits and prepare for new battles against evil. The victory over the world wound changed many things. It's switched, yes. Good. So you can actually see what's happening. The victory over the world won't change many things, not just on Golarion, but in the Midnight Isles as well. Nocticula spent many days pondering the words of a certain young and fearless prophet. Before long, the Lady in Shadow openly renounced her realm and named herself the Redeemer Queen. She became a Redeemer Queen. This revolt against her own demonic nature transformed Nocticula, severed her ties to the Abyss and brought her to Elysium. There, upon creating a realm named Midnight's Pellet, the Redeemer Queen attained divine power and became the patroness of exiles. The now vacant throne was instantly seized by Shamira the Ardent Dream. However, her power could not compare to the might of Lady in Shadow. The Midnight Isles, which had become a tempting prize for many demons, were plunged into chaos. The commander celebrated his victory over Areshkagal. Little did he know that some demon lords go as far as forfeiting their own life to achieve their ends. The mask of the inscrutable Areshkagal remained in the possession of the commander of the Fifth Crusade until the very end. He refused to or could not find the strength to discard the sinister item, and shortly after the Battle of Threshold he began disappearing for days at a time, then suddenly returning, unable to recall what happened to him. What? The demon lord Baphomet suffered defeat. The world wound was closed and the convenient passage to Golarion was sealed along with it. Baphomet shifted his attention to the realms of the other demon lords. A cell of Templars of the Ivory Labyrinth was soon discovered in Alushnira. The demon lord Discari suffered a defeat. He bided his time, continuing to plot his invasion of Golarion, and after that of heaven itself. The cultists that remained in Golarion went mad, one after another, tortured by the nightmarish dreams their lord sent to them. Tirabades were adamant about retiring from military service, leaving it all behind and escaping together, but Urge and Eaglewatch business forced them to stay for a week, then for a month, then for many years. Even as Anivia cursed their lot, however, her eyes would shine with pride, for she was always the first to admit that Tirabet was not the kind of person who just up and retire. The hand of the inheritor, who had gone into voluntarily exile, spent much time among mortals, trying to gain a better understanding of their fickle nature. Somewhere on the roads of Golarion, the angel trail went cold. A rumor has it that he intentionally went into hiding to avoid both old friends and surviving enemies, and that he now lives somewhere in the guise of a callow mortal youth, eager to absorb other people's wisdom. Having rediscovered his own story, the storyteller rejected the goddess' proposal. Yeah, 7 weeks. I know. A lot. Where was I? He was celebrated as a great historian and rightfully held the position of Dean of History faculty at Arcanamirium, the most renowned academy in Absalom. Another 40 years passed before his age caught up with him, and it was his turn to appear before the Lady of Graves. Finian, a Pathfinder who also happened to be a talking weapon, continued his travels in the hands of many warriors, seasoned and otherwise. Throughout the following centuries, he was lost in a battle on a number of occasions, only to be found again in some fantastical treasure room on the other side of Golarion. Once again, Scylla heard the call of the open road. Even a valiant paladin can be prone to self-doubt, and after everything that had happened to her, Scylla wanted to sort out her conflicting thoughts and emotions on her own. Once the war ended, Camellia grew bored and irritable. Shortly afterwards, on a moonless night, she vanished. That event was preceded by a futile attempt to drive a dagger into the former commander's heart. About a month later, an assassin by the name of Mireia arrived in Varisia. She had few things in common with the missing woman apart from a fondness for cutting the hearts out of her victims. Horgus Guerm never saw his daughter again. After the end of the Fifth Crusade, he sold his estate and left for Cheliax, where he successfully married, thus continuing the Guerm line. Having properly fulfilled his duty to the mongrels and his surprise avoided death, Len was suddenly faced with a choice: what to do with his life now that it wasn't going to end anytime soon. His hesitation did not last long, and just a few months later he went on a sea voyage to see the world he had saved. After the victory, Ember simply sat for a long time, staring at the tongues of flame dancing in her hands. Her new powers frightened her. The awe struck within were ready to hang on her every word, and that frightened her even more. She left without saying goodbye to anyone and continued her endless wayfaring along the roads of Golarion, helping the distressed and punishing evildoers. Many worshipped her as a saint, but she would always respond with, "Please, I'm just an ordinary girl." Nenio, soon after the war, the tireless researcher of all things researchable, embarked on a new journey. She had a sudden urge to know how much time it would take to visit every nation on Golarion. She returned after a year and a half with a pile of notes, which she promptly handed over to her assistant. After all, someone had to help her compile the entries for the first volume of the Encyclopedia Golarionic. It only made sense for her assistant to help, given that one of the entries was dedicated to him, the commander of the Fifth Crusade who had made Golarion history. Dira Narandea embraced his new life, one that was free of the other. He became more mature, his smile grew colder, and his choice of diversions more elaborate, and he acquired an imperious streak. Inquisitor Yotter blood seemed to have let darkness into Diran's soul, or had it always dwelled there? Whatever the case, in that darkness he was free and happy as never before. He never lost his respect, or should that be, his fondness, for the commander, and would often visit him in Dresden. To his own surprise, Woljib Jefto became a war hero. Esteem and fame were shortly followed by great wealth. He finally got rich, Woljib. The tiefling did not let his newfound fortune turn his head, but chose to invest the money in several profitable ventures and one charity for street urchins. Within a few years, his signature style came to include a top hat, a cane, and a bit of a belly. There was a lot of talk in the taverns of Absalom about the time soon after the end of the war when Woljib appeared in the city in the company of Count Diran Arandea. It remains unclear whether Diran treated the tiefling as a wayward younger brother or a court jester, but he took pleasure in showing him the world. The third person in the group was rumored to be the commander himself. After the victory, Sociel returned home, now a famed crusader hero. He humbly officiated at the temple of Shailin, painted, grew sweet-smelling fruits, and made the best wine in the region. His former kindly smile returned less and less often. He avoided talking about the war, and when people asked about his brother's fate, he just curtly replied that Trevor had been killed by demons. Regiel wrote a treatise on waging war against the demons, both a practical manual and a philosophical exhortation. And once that was done, he succumbed to the bleaching complete. He was posthumously reinstated in his order and buried with honors in the officers' cemetery. His treatise was used in all future wars against the Abyss by mortals, angels, and devils alike. Before he died, he managed to send a letter to the commander. Did it contain sincere farewells or a list of directives? Impossible to say. No one was privy to the contents except the recipient. After the victory over the Whirlwound, Greybor did not return to his former profession. After all, the war had shown him the gold was not a good enough reason to kill. Greybor went wandering, and every time he encountered dishonorable, unscrupulous behavior, he would not deny himself the pleasure of a confrontation. In Avistan, the brave dwarf was reputed to be a noble knight-errant, but whenever he heard such a thing, he would just let out a good-natured chuckle. He simply enjoyed a good fight. Arushali had changed her nature, completely ridding herself of evil, but she would not dare to live among mortals. She took up a residence in a small house away from their settlements. Shortly afterward, rumors began to spread. Some said there was a kind of sorceress living in a cottage, or perhaps a reclusive saint, and people who would come to her asking for help. She never refused anyone, and in time she earned their trust and friendship. What is this shit?
And what of me, the writer of these words? The half-demon witch known as the architect of the world wound.
Arilu survived in my playthrough, by the way. Who the fuck is that?
I was defeated. The victor spared my life in a gesture that was not quite a boon, not quite charity. I was left without hope, without a chance of finding a purpose again. I lived out my remaining days in an isolated cottage, far from everyone, needed by none, discovered by none. I have recounted the story of my life for you, Pharasma,
This is
Lady of
Pharasma.
Graves. Not only of my life, but of the Commander's also. I believe the tale of such an illustrious figure would pique even a goddess's curiosity. Now you know everything. I await your verdict, goddess.
So, all that narration, okay. This is the story of Arilu Warlash, by the way. She explains everything how it happened to Pharasma, which means that Arilu died, okay. Silence hangs over the boneyard. The Lady of Graves is waiting her decision, and it seems the entire universe is holding its breath, awaiting her pronouncement. Who would have dared to break a silence so absolute? Intervene. Though you are no longer here, your heroic deed entitles you to say in this trial. I appeal to your mercy. The planes have suffered enough. Do not add to the evil already wrought with yet another act of evil. I appeal to your mercy. Of all the gods, Yomedea was the only one to fight against the whirlwind. Even you, Pharasma, stood by and did nothing. Doesn't that suggest that the whirlwind was not so great a threat to the universe, and Arilu crimes were not as heinous as claimed? I appeal to your sense of justice. Great evil deserves a commensurate punishment. I appeal to your sense of justice. The world the gods created exists in a delicate balance. Arilu Warlash attempted to overturn the balance, which represents a direct challenge to you, Lady of Graves. I'm gonna go with Lore Religion. I picked a perfect character for this final thing. Appeal to your mercy. Spare. I appeal to your mercy. Of all the gods, Yomedea was the only one to fight against the whirlwind. Even you, Pharasma, stood by and did nothing. Doesn't that suggest that the whirlwind was not so great a threat to the universe, and Arilu crimes were not as heinous as claimed? Your words ring out in the silence. They're heard, considered, and given their due weight.
The laws of the universe have existed for millennia. They are incontrovertible, but even they allow the decider of fate some degree of influence over the verdict. You wrought great evil, while it stemmed from the evil that was done to you. Your actions far exceeded it. Your soul is dark, and there is only one place for you in the universe. And yet, the one whom you harmed most of all now appeals to me on your behalf. I shall send you to the Maelstrom, the plane on the edge of the world. A place to which the gods' gazes do not stray. There you will find yourself. Or you will perish in the whirlwind of chaos that is your soul. So be it.
Holy shit, what on earth if she really hates her, hey? This was the polite judgment, alright? Imagine the other way.
Now you, the mortal who has risen so high as to stand boldly in the presence of the goddess of fate. You have done the impossible, and you will be remembered as long as this universe exists. Go, live out the rest of your life. I look forward to tales of your future deeds.
Pharasma prolonged their life, goddammit. Pharasma prolonged their lives as a legend. So, you live longer as a legend than as any other mythic path. It turns out mortal is the best way. Man. That's it. Molim. Aha. Ajde. Aha. Ajde, ajde. Guys, I need to get out. I finished just on time, goddammit. People, it was a fucking blast. It was a blast. Really, it was. Although that final part was really fucked up. But what can you do? I still believe that Kenabres was the best out of all, you know. It was a huge challenge. We did all fights on both hard and unfair. I'll definitely play this game when a lot of patches come, okay? The next game is gonna be Wasteland 3. So what I'm gonna do next, I might do some builds for my YouTube channel. We'll see if I have will to do it. That's the first thing. Because I need to create mercs and test them out. And I will do a review for the game. But the next stream is gonna be with Wasteland 3. And all of its DLCs. That's what I wanna play next. All in all, the game was great. I want them to patch the game. I want them to fix the game. I want to see those DLCs. And I want to play a perfect version of this game. To have another run immediately, I'd rather wait. At least for a month or two. But all in all, this was the longest game I played in my life. By far. I don't know if I'll take a day off, if I'll stream tomorrow. I really don't have a fucking clue, to be honest. I spent 374 hours, 375 hours in a game. 40 out of 65 achievements unlocked. Because I switched difficulties, I haven't received the achievement. God damn it. For unfair. When you switch difficulties, you don't receive achievement. But at least I'll have a goal on a second run. It was a blast. It was really a blast. Okay, what I'll do, I'll also release all of those boss fights starting from tomorrow on my YouTube channel. I need to cut and edit them, but I'll release them all. From the hand of the Inheritor to Areshkagal to all of these disgusting fights. And the next stream is gonna be Wasteland 3. People, it's 9 AM. I need to get out to collect some stupid package. I just received a phone call, so I'll need to end. Guys, thanks for watching. And I'll be seeing you back soon, I guess. Check the YouTube channel now. I'll release a lot of new videos over there in the next few days. The next stream, Wasteland 3. Could happen tomorrow. If not, then in 2 days from now. That's it, people. See you back soon.